It's crazy that they're picking Jhin again, by the way. You know, when we were thinking about, oh, you know, what champions like Rumble, for example, were picked.
Does clear out his camps, but Wei, I think, is really smart to just go on the other end and say, hey, I could trap Guan in this situation.
Soburo can roam down as well. Wei knows that and flashes right on top of him. Soburo's coming for this, and Rookie's already there. Guan, who we worried about getting behind, got taken out, and genuinely, Quacks, if Soburo had just straight up killed Hoya, it would have been better for NIP than this.
As soon as possible, just to give the scaling advantage over to their team, because both squads have a good amount of damage going into the late game. Obviously, we have Care on the Azir, we have Awesome on the Jhin, but factoring in the ornaments from Hoya as well will give them that extra little bump. Don't ever underestimate it. Could happen. I do think that Guan has not been able to really find these opportunities that we were hoping for from him in this early game. Obviously, we are, you know, the game is still young, but Soburo is going to look for a dive with the rest of his team, Realm Warp over to the top side.
Hoya just doesn't have the mana to finish clearing out this wave effectively. Saves a little bit of it to try and turn the dive around, and that does not work. Second kill of the game going to IG once again as they use Realm Warp proactively, partnering Wei and Rookie up. Mostly what he's going to have to do through the mid game is play facilitator Jhin for a Xin Zhao who's already a little bit behind, and to keep Care safe more than anything.
And with Rakan not in the area to start up a fight here for NIP, it means that the engage would fall solely on Hoya, but he doesn't even have the Orin Horn, but Care's looking for a pick in the mid lane.
Yeah, you could always go for something like that. It does work out, gets at least the single summoner out of Rookie, but doesn't do much in the way of stopping. There's no help for.
You know, hang on, Trouble does have the flash, could go over the wall, but Xin Zhao is right there.
Wei's on the way. Love saying that, but so is Guan, and immediately gonna get some damage landed on him. Wind becomes lightning, does not connect, but Hoya does collect the kill. Will be a 1-for-1, however, as Wei trades that back onto Guan. Ultimately, a wave gets lost topside as well.
Around this dragon, NIP desperately want to get this to tie up the Drake.
They're going to have to play pretty far forward to make sure that happens. Wei knocked up pretty quickly and locked down. Actually could be picked off and has to flash away. Wei in a similar position has to expend that summoner himself and now dodge out on the curtain call that does connect with him, but the bullet does not curve at the end to finish him off. However, it will do its job and secure NIP the Dragon. Unfortunately, perhaps at the cost of their top laner, as Hoya gets roasted alive by Soburo. That matchup going from worse to worse again, I suppose.
Yep, worse to worser for the Ornn. Hoya definitely not having a good time in this game, though. Guan, because of the nice engage and the nice damage onto Wei.
The game goes on. Hoya's not going to be able to just stand in Rumble's face for very long, even if he is much safer. And even that is being challenged as Rookie moves up to the top side with Wei. No Rumble, no problem. They want to go for the engage, and Hoya, he's got a bunch of magic resist, but against a Wukong, that does not matter one lick. Rookie collects another kill. Rookie has to decide, and it's a pretty good decision, whether he goes for a little bit of threat on Care or a little bit of threat on Care's turret. Both of those things pretty easily accessible to a Ryze as accelerated as he. Question becomes now, does that Rift Herald translate? NIP are here to challenge it, and Rift Herald is only about half HP, so they may very well get this, given that Soburo has stayed around the bot side. Perhaps IG go, you know what? We'd rather have a turret than the Herald.
Giving more gold over to Soburo definitely could be the move, but he's channeling TP. It's very late, though, for IG, if I'm being completely honest.
Joy can still go for this. We've extended an equalizer that more or less cuts straight down the middle, but Care gets sucked in by the Magnet Storm, and Soburo is absolutely here for it. Unfortunately, no members of NIP have fallen, and they are quickly turning things around on IG. Shui is 1 HP right now, and while a bullet time does force NIP to split up, their health bar is low, they still managed to get away with the Rift Herald and just a 1-for-1. Can IG change that? Botic chasing down Guwon. Rookie looking for care, but nothing quite connecting to convert on these kills. Awesome is low. Flash, Realm Warp. All right, we're making it a 1-for-2. We're making it a 1-for-2. Last auto from Botic secures that as the truth.
Who actually won that trade. But yeah, solid engage coming out here from Zhuo. I do think that it's just awesome not really being able to fully involve himself in the fight. Neither AD carry was really able to fully involve themselves in the fight. I think that if we had Botic there a little bit earlier and Awesome there just a little bit sooner, hang on.
And it doesn't even save him? I'll give it to Jin here. That's a whole lot of CC.
Top side looking for a pick onto Sobro to potentially shut down this Rumble yet again, but Sobro just backs on off, and IG do have a better foothold in the bot side river here. I feel like NIP just aren't really in a position to actually fight this, so I'm curious what they're going to do. There really aren't any alternatives around the map available. Hoya forces the flash.
Not in a position to defend the Dragon, also not in a position to defend their top laner, although maybe they decide, you know what, we lost the Dragon, we're going to do at least one of those things. Sobro gets pushed on right back into Hoya's arms, and this time with some damage to back him up.
Yeah, but they are going to be looking for some kind of threat onto this turret. They will be able to turn that threat into an actual punch in the mouth, as they will claim they're on Baron.
Yeah, NIP are still very much in this. It's about actually converting that to something right now, as we do get 2 teleports up towards the top side. Hoya has joined, as is Sobro. Notably, Care is walking his way up, and if you want to win a fight as NIP, Care needs to be there.
Rookie is at a really interesting position. Does have the Realm Warp available. This is a very interesting flank, though. They found Care.
And if you can assassinate Care, you can win the fight. That works even better now as the bullet time goes right over the top of a wall and a Magnet Storm, securing a double kill for Sobro. Wei collapses back on Care and manages to secure yet another kill for IG, as that is a 4-for-0 in the favor of IG, very swiftly manufactured. And the Baron that started it is now not even what they're looking for first.
And the teamfight comp finally gets to teamfight. IG link up. We had questions about how they would play the 5v5s, and they are answering it with flying colors here in game number 1. A 4-for-0, and the Baron a foregone conclusion to end this play for themselves.
So the end of one play, start of another. And Zhuo is here, and I'm rooting for it.
I feel like they're made of paper now.
For the next couple of minutes, that game that I had talked about as being a little bit more even, feeling like it wasn't really one team's or another's, is firmly in the control of IG. And IP can try and make a high-risk play to turn that around, or they can sit here and take it and see how much IG can get, whether that is enough to close things out later. Right now, it is just looking impossible to challenge, as IG are taking multiple turrets at the same time. They are inside your base, making themselves at home, grabbing a cup of coffee, sitting down on your couch, and being really disrespectful about the whole thing. It's ridiculous. And they're gonna get Dragon.
This is such a nice thing to see from IG. We talked about it in the pre-show, Dia, but this is a squad who, you know, mostly looks good in the early game, doomed to be finish, as they are now 6.8k gold ahead, soul point complete, and NIP just feel like they are at IG's mercy.
And it has truly come down to one big difference. I suppose I should say 2 big differences, and that is the mid-jungle synergy.
Look for a fight.
NIP are kind of letting Rookie have a flank. They're manufacturing one for him, and as Botic flashes away from the Call of Forge God, he makes it almost all the way out. Zhuo is in Narnia chasing after him, and that lets NIP turn things around entirely, looking for the fight, sending Guwon into the backline, but way too late. IG are the ones coming out on top of it as Wei starts up the Dragon, and a Realm Warp forward for the rest of IG. Look for Care. Shui and Rookie seeking him in the jungle, and Zhuo playing League of Legends.
Yep, gets to witness it, unlike so many of his other teammates, as most of the NIP squad. Confident. Let's just go for the confident play. Let's go for the one that is consistent. And yeah, that definitely is taking this top side objective. IG clinical here in game number 1.
Something that NIP will have a difficult time doing again. Not just because it's hard to do, hard to manufacture, a fight that NIP will take, but because even if they do manufacture a fight that looks semi-decent, they are playing into a pretty large gold lead. Engage does go out onto Way, popping his Guardian Angel. Let's see how well this can go for NIP as they've got Care in the backline. Bullet time over the top and over the tower. Does keep things pretty firmly in IG's hands, and that is only continuing as Sobro roasts NIP alive. Double kill for the Rumble, and we're gonna make it perhaps a triple. Ends up being taken away from him. IG remain firmly in control as NIP look for an ill-advised fight and come up empty-handed, maybe even losing the game here, Quex.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a wave. The death timers are really long at this point in the game.
Yeah.
IG, the first to strike in this series, a dominant showcase and a statement for the future of this best of 5.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.